Hey guys, Joshua in the woods. We finally made this spot. Finally found it. You guys probably saw the previous video. I got a hunch that this was it. I saw some water flow, so kept hiking back, and we found the waterfall that I've been looking for. Now that I do see the waterfall, I know that there's another one that I want to find, because I've been looking at pictures, and when I walked up here and saw this one, I knew that this was not the one that I saw in the pictures. So that means there's another one around here that I have to find, which is good. Adds to the adventures. Got the OMS today with some haunted bookshop. The haunted bookshop was gifted to me by my good friend Steven. I'm a wrench. You guys all know him. If you don't, please check him out. Steven is so wonderful. He's a big-hearted man. Thank you, Steven. So nice to be out here. It was a week of a lot of perspective for me. A couple things changed, and some personal stuff, and just kind of I guess things sometimes happen where it just creates like a direct understanding that you're in a new chapter of life. And so a couple things have happened this week that was the case. Just yeah, and it's nice. It's liberating in a way. It's and I'm happy with where I'm at, and that's a good thing. I was tagged in a photo on Facebook, which I don't really go on Facebook too much, but I happened to go on one day and saw that I was tagged earlier in the week, or a couple weeks ago. I was tagged by an old friend, my old best friend, when I was 17, 18, 19. He tagged a photo of me, of him and I, when I was probably 17, 18. Me and him together, smiling. I had my shaggy dreadlocks and Rasta shirt. It just took me right back, and it's funny, I was tagged in the picture, and I got in my car at the end of the workday, and some real kind of nice chill reggae was on in my car from the beginning of the day, the morning drive in, and it just made me think, like, wow, it's, as much as we change, we really don't. We stay very similar, and hopefully evolve and develop. Those times as a late teen, when I just rampantly, just full bore, went straight into studying about spirituality and religions and theology, and those times really pushed me forward, and really what pushed me forward was like some suffering that I was having during that time. I had started reading about some things, and then some kind of crisis happened as a late teenager, and it really pushed me to study. So much so that I really kind of gave everything up at the age of 19, and was planning on moving to a Buddhist monastery in Canada. I was looking into it and trying to get into it, and that didn't pan out. And I ended up moving into a Hindu temple in California. And I spent 10 years there. That's how I spent my 20s. And I couldn't have had it any other way, really, you know. At the time, you know, everyone around me or the people I knew were engaging in, you know, finding careers and building occupations and giving themselves to their livelihood. And I did the same thing. I just did it a lot differently. You know, I just engaged in study and waking up early and really kind of looking inward. And I don't, you know, and because of that, when I was in my 30s, when my 30s began, I had nothing. I had nothing. I had no piece of paper that told me I had accomplished this and that, but I'm paying for it now, you know, with my lack of career and whatnot. But I wouldn't trade it for anything. In one sense, I did study for a degree. I did study. I did give myself, and fortunately, with spiritual life, you don't get a degree. It's just a consistent. You keep going with it, and you keep going with it. It's life. It's not some crazy, far-off, mystical thing. It's just dealing with life and being mindful of it and knowing that sufferings actually build your character, purify. Without suffering, you're not going to grow. So anyways, it just, that picture really made me reflect on those times. And I spent a lot of time, especially in my early 30s, where I complained and got down on myself for not getting a career and not doing those things. You know, blaming others for my problems. But now, as I sit here on the trail and am myself, I can say confidently, with humility, it's not out of pride at all, really. But I'm happy with who I am. I'm happy with who I've become. I'm happy with my love for nature and my outlooks that I've cultivated. And I'm definitely grateful that this week I could look myself in the face and think about myself and say, I'm happy with who I am. And I have a lot of work I have a lot of work left. I have a lot of faults, and I have a lot of, you know, a lot of things I want to work on, like anybody else. But I'm thankful that I can see my faults. And I'm thankful for all this. Thankful for making videos. It helps me to explore. It gets me out. Helps me to share. I turned the camera on not knowing what the heck I wanted to talk about, but that's what's been happening with my week. New chapters start. made a lot of mistakes, that's for sure. But I can say that I'm honestly trying to not make them anymore. And just be wholesome, to connect, to live with spirit for sure. Suppose that's enough rambling. Have a blessed week, guys. We'll see you soon.